Hi MennoNerds, this is Deborah Ferber, and today I'd like to talk to you about two things that heaven is and two things that heaven is not. I know that eschatology in the end times can be a very controversial topic, but I think that, as Micael said, it is an important one because it's sort of a very strong basis for our faith and helps other people to understand why we believe as we do. So, first thing that heaven is that it's an expression of God's love. And in a way, death itself is an expression of God's love. I personally really struggle with that because I really wish I could live forever. But last night, God told me, while I was asleep, that the reason that we die is because of His intense mercy for us. When we were in the garden, we sinned against God, we were disobedient. If God didn't love us, He would have said to us, okay, well, you sinned against me, and I'm going to continue to make you live in this world that you've created for yourself after He had cursed it. But instead, He was like, no, I want there to be something better for you. And that's why He created this wonderful, amazing place called heaven, where there's no death or mourning or sickness or sadness, and everything is going to be made right. And there's going to be no systemic oppression or racism or anything that we struggle with in our daily lives today. And I think that's pretty incredible. The second thing that heaven is that it's an opportunity for us to practice kingdom theology. I know that as Anabaptists, and some of the other vloggers have hinted at this as well, we're often very centered on what's happening in our world today. And I think we should be, because I think there is such a thing as being so heavenly minded that you're no earthly good. On the other hand, as Micael said, if we believe that there's something greater than this world, it gives us the opportunity to really practice our faith because we know that there's something after this. And in the scriptures, it reminds us that it is appointed for man once to die and then to judgment. And we're told that we're going to be held accountable for everything that we did in this body, whether it's good or bad. So that's why I really think that it's important for us to consider why we do the things we do and to try to make as big of a difference as we can. Now, the two things that heaven is not. First of all, it's not an exclusive club. And Ebony hinted at this already. Sometimes there's this polarity in the Christian religion that certain people of different denominations believe that they're the only ones in heaven. I had an experience like this at Tyndale when I was in my first year. Some groups of students came up to me and they said, what's your denomination? And at that time, Tyndale was very much Baptist and Pentecostal. And of course, it's actually one of the most multicultural and multi-denominational seminaries and universities in Canada, but it still seems very heavily dominated by just those two denominations. And I remember telling them that I was Mennonite, and they kind of just looked at me like, okay, are you a Christian sort of idea. But heaven's not like that, because heaven is a place where, as long as we are steadfast in our beliefs and as long as our beliefs center around the Christian message, then we're pretty good to go. And that's a whole nother debate, because you could ask the question, is it possible for someone who's not a Christian to also be in heaven? And I don't want to get into that right now because we don't have time, but it's a valid question. Second thing that heaven is not is it's not a place for races. And I had this experience when I was at IHOP KC, which is a huge conference of young adults, about 30,000 of us in Kansas City, Missouri. And we were all just praising and worshiping. And I remember just taking some time to walk down the aisles. And there was literally people from every background and every faith and every ethnicity that you could imagine. And I remember thinking to myself, this is just a taste of heaven. If this is what heaven's like, then it's definitely no place for races. So those are just my thoughts in a nutshell, and I know it's a hard topic, but I thank you for trusting me to bring this message to you. Talk to you later. Bye.